doing, asking, saying. These are very often exactly what we most need to do. You see people who do big things and you automatically say, that guy's so lucky, she's so lucky. You don't know that. You're assuming that. Going to work every fucking day for 27 years and grinding your ass off and then becoming a multi-millionaire, that's action and reaction. Quit using the word luck, quit believing in luck, and start believing in luck. Start believing in results that come from your actions. Stop telling your visions to other people because they're not going to see it. Why you think you keep imagining opening a business? Why you keep imagining graduating, getting a better job? Why do you keep imagining buying a house? Why do you keep imagining getting rich one day? Why do you keep imagining that? Because God is talking to you. He's showing you something that he has for you. Woo! Rise and shine, family. Good morning. Good morning. How are we feeling coming into the middle of the week? Happy Wednesday. I hope you all had a blessed one so far. A lot of amazing things are here and on the way, and I'm so grateful to see it all. Shane, Talina tapped in the building. What's going on? It's great to see you, family. Good morning. Good morning. So today, wow, just kicked off a phenomenal session with Joey Medina, just diving in on the power of AI, how we can even tap into that using chat, using that even for our e-commerce and dropshipping stores. What a time to be alive and to be able to take advantage of these skills. Honestly, I've got literally my notebooks full from this past session, so I'm excited to go ahead and put it into work. Honestly, and even getting right off, we're still continuing with Mr. Medina on part 2, diving in to building our store. So with that being said, fam, let's go ahead and dive into today's topic. I got a great one for you today. It's kind of contradicting a little bit, right? We're talking about how does serenity and how to risk, how do they actually intertwine, right? How do they actually both play a role together, and how do they actually have similarities? So I'm really excited to go ahead and touch on that one. So let's get a little bit of gratitude before we go ahead and dive in, and we are launching into the topic for today. I'm excited for this one. This is going to be one you don't want to miss. So here we go. Serenity and risk. Awesome. So what's 1, 2, 3 things everybody's grateful for coming into today? I'm grateful for God. I'm so thankful to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to even be a witness along the journey, to be able to see all the growth within each and every single one of you. It might be tough to be able to see it from the inside looking out, but for myself, being able to see you guys, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, I can see the day by day growth truly taking place. I can see the consistency. I know Shane's about to knock out that day 365. He's dropping weight, melting off like butter, getting lean into the best shape of your life. I'm so grateful to see it. I'm thankful for getting deep even into the morning ritual still. 300 coming up on 320. Where we at? 25 days consistent. This is what it's all about, right? What's practiced in private ends up getting praised in public. So let me be the first to congratulate all of you. I'm excited and I'm grateful for what is here and on the way. So let's get into it. All right. Day 359, 365 is coming up. Sneeze away. Congratulations. All right. So check this out, right? When it comes down to serenity and risk, if there's one major thing I could tell you, right, inside of this journey of entrepreneurship, there's 2 things that we're definitely going to experience along the way, right? Serenity is definitely a goal to be able to go ahead and have calm and have peace in the storm, and also taking risks, right? I used to be afraid to take risks. I used to be afraid to invest in myself. I used to be afraid to go out and really put that energy into things that I was afraid to do, until I started to realize, watching so many others do it, that we're never going to be able to go ahead and get to what it is that we envision, staying still, staying stagnant. So there's going to be a little bit of risk that's involved. In fact, Jim Rohn says the biggest risk in life, who knows it? The biggest risk in life is what? It's not taking a risk. So I'm excited to go ahead and dive into both these topics. You guys are going to see exactly how serenity and risk both play a role together. And this is actually a sneak peek of one of my next podcasts. So this is a good one. So check this out. In a world that often perceives serenity and risk as opposites, and believe it or not, this actually comes from John C. Maxwell, right? So I'm getting this training straight from the GOAT, okay? In a world that often perceives serenity and risk as opposites, it's fascinating to explore the connection between the two. And today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys 4 ways on how exactly both of these are intertwined beautifully. Okay, so number 1 is stepping into the unknown. Okay, both serenity and risk, if you really think about it, they both involve venturing beyond what it is that we're familiar with. They both involve getting outside of the box from our normal routines. Okay, now watch the difference. Serenity happens, okay, when we embrace the uncertainty of life and then we begin to find peace within it. Along the road to success, as we start to grow and level up, no day tomorrow is promised. No vision is guaranteed to come next month, 6 months, 1 year from now. So every day, believe it or not, everything is unknown. Nothing is predictable. So that's number 1. When we can find peace in the unknown, this is how you can start to, number 1, build a stronger connection with our Creator, because this is called faith, right? Believing it is you see it, now you believe it. Faith is a little bit different. You've got to be able to tap in at a deeper level, okay? So similarly, risk requires a willingness to go ahead and leave our comfort zone and explore uncharted territories, opening ourselves up to new opportunities and new experiences, right? If you think about taking risks, it was risky for me to go ahead and drive across country to go to events when I didn't even have money in my pocket. But I also understood at the same time, me staying still, I'll never know what could happen not going out and taking the risk, right? Even though it was scary, listening to the audios, getting personally developed, we're able to go ahead and find peace even during all the noise that's going on. Okay, so number 1 is stepping into the unknown. Okay, risk and serenity, they both play a role getting outside of what we're normally used to doing. That's for sure. Okay, here's tip number 2. The second one is going to be embracing vulnerability. Okay. I don't know how many of you had a chance to go ahead and see my post that I put out yesterday, but I actually went and talked about a little bit of a vulnerable side, right? Nobody cares to see the story where somebody's already successful and they go out and they create a lot more success, right? It's kind of like the Rocky movie, right? Why do people love the Rocky movie? Why do people love Remember the Titans? Because it's a comeback story. It's a story of growth. It's a story of transformation. So along the way, there's no reason to be afraid of being vulnerable, because that's where people relate, right? Your story, your voice, what it is that you've been able to go through and grow through is how it is that people can relate with you. Okay. So this is big. So vulnerability, let me show you how the two relate here. Ready? Check this out. This is interesting. Serenity arises when we let go of the need for control and allow ourselves to be vulnerable, right? Accepting life of the ebbs and flows. Similarly, watch this. Taking risks also involves vulnerability as we expose ourselves to the possibility of failure or even disappointments. It's through embracing vulnerability that we can grow and find strength. And when you really think about both of those, it's so true, right? Any time in your life, think about it like this, right? When you start to go through different things and you felt the need for control, how many of you have ever heard the term be like water, right? Like Bruce Lee says, he has an example of life. And here's his example, right? He says, imagine that we have a bowl of water, okay? What most people try and do is they try and go ahead and they try and reach in for everything that they desire, and they try and squeeze and they try and manipulate exactly how they want it. And when they end up looking back in their hands, there's nothing left. There's no water. But when you're able to go ahead and just cup it and let life flow in just as it's supposed to, just as the ebbs and flows are, you learn to find peace in the storm. You learn to find that everything works out in your favor. Everything happens for coincidence, right? When something used to go bad in my life, I had to learn how to change my perspective. And I got the opportunity to go ahead and see things from a different light, right? Whether it was a pop tire, whether it was losing a trade, whether it was seeing a product that I put out and it didn't work, right? I had to realize that every part of success is going to require a piece of vulnerability, right? Getting vulnerable with our ego, getting vulnerable with our inability to have patience, okay? You see, the reason why I love trading so much, the reason why I love these skill sets like e-commerce, drop shipping, right? Learning how to build a brand is it's going to expose a lot of the insecurities, a lot of the weaknesses that we perceive that we have. And in reality, here's the secret. A lot of them are false evidences appearing real. You see that? A lot of the things that we're afraid of is not as scary once we go out and we actually take the action. There's no need to get on social media to paint anybody a picture perfect story. Nobody is perfect. But to be able to get vulnerable and share what it is that you've been able to grow through, this is how somebody can relate. Where were you working a year ago? What type of emotions were you experiencing when you didn't have a community, when you didn't have mentorship, when you didn't have a great circle of influence? And what shifted? What changed when you did find that circle? When you did find these skill sets? When you did realize that there's a lot more to life than just clocking in, paying bills, and living till 75, right? This is a huge piece of getting vulnerable, right? Being able to share your story, and serenity and risk both intertwine in vulnerability, okay? Here's number 3. My third piece is going to be trusting the process, right? Trusting the process. You see, serenity and risk, they both share reliance with trust, right? They both go hand in hand, because serenity is often found in, think about it. Here's what John C. Maxwell says. He says, serenity is often found in surrendering to the present moment and trusting that everything will unfold just as it should. But similarly, on the other side, taking risks requires trusting in ourselves, the process, the potential outcomes, and even the path ahead, even though it might be uncertain or challenging. Woo! Serenity is often found surrendering in the present moment, trusting that everything will unfold just as it should, right? We talked about a story with Deanne yesterday. She had life that was hitting like a brick, but being able to hold to that posture, take control of the emotional intelligence, things are able to go ahead and work out in her favor, being calm in the storm and trusting the process that everything is going to work out just as it should, right? That's the serenity side. And then when it comes to risk, right? Think about it. When we go invest into trading, when we invest into ourselves, when we go out investing, going to an event, that's risky, right? Every bit of that is risky. There's not one part of that that's not risky, because guess what? Nothing is guaranteed any money. Everything is reliant and dependent upon us, what we do with that information. So it's all risky, right? Waking up saying stepping outside today was risky, but here's the difference, okay? Taking risks requires, he says, trust in ourselves, the process, the potential outcomes, even when the path may be uncertain or challenging. You see, for years, at the beginning, I didn't make money trading my first 90 days, to believe it or not. I did not make more than $100. And everybody around me was making fun of me. D, why are you wasting time for $10, $20, $30? But they didn't understand the path that I was on. They didn't realize that this is different than a job. Make money anywhere that has Wi-Fi. Anywhere we're able to go ahead and put up a new product in our e-commerce store and have our money work for us. But that took time. That took me taking a lot of risks. That took a lot of the mentors that you see taking risks and getting outside of what we're normally used to doing. But at the same time, trusting the process. Even when so many around us couldn't see what we saw, that was the difference. Okay. So for you guys that are tapped in, this is the beauty of going on the road less traveled. Okay. Risk and serenity both play a huge role. And here's the last piece I want to give to everybody. You ready? The fourth key, when you really start to understand this, is going to be growth and transformation. Both require serenity and risk, because here's the deal. You ready? Serenity allows us to find inner peace and cultivate resilience in the face of adversity. And likewise, taking calculated risks, he says, can lead to valuable lessons, new perspectives, and a transformative experience that shapes who it is that we become. I love that. I love this last but not least one. Let me read that to you one more time. He says, serenity allows us to find inner peace and cultivate resilience in the face of adversity. There's something that my father used to tell me all the time. He said, I've never met a strong man with an easy past. So whatever adversity is being experienced right now, this is what's developed. We've been talking about this all week. This is part of what's allowing us to sharpen the sword into who it is that we're become. So now when we get to that next level, we're already prepped, we're already vetted, we've already been prepared because we've already done the reps. So this is huge. And the second piece he talks about taking calculated risks, okay? Investing in books, going to events, investing back into ourselves, right? Taking calculated risks leads to valuable lessons, new perspectives, and transformative experiences, right? Some of these events that I've been able to go throughout the year, some of that I've actually been to the events, you know this, right? Those after conversations, those private masterminds, right? To be able to hear the conversations, to be able to see the testimonies, see the stories, see what's really possible, it changes the way that we think about everything, right? I never looked at money the same when I saw what was possible with trading. I never looked at the spiritual side of success until I got around people like Alex Morton and heard these conversations in person, right? So new experiences, new perspectives, and being able to understand that all of this is shaping us into who we're becoming. The adversity, the good days, the character building days is all leading to who it is that we're becoming. So think about this, right? Here's how we ended this paragraph. The next time you encounter a crossroad, remember that serenity and risk can be intertwined in surprising ways. Embrace the unknown, allow yourself to be vulnerable, and trust the process. Embrace the potential for growth. Woo! I was reading this morning and I was just like, yo, this is a message that I believe all of us can benefit from, because drop a 2 down below if you feel like you've been going through a little bit adversity lately, right? Drop a 1 down below if you feel like you've been taking a little bit of risk in the past couple of weeks, right? Maybe putting out products, maybe on your 75-day challenge. I know Shane's been on his Mutter challenge, okay? This is what it's all about, getting vulnerable, taking risks, and understanding that serenity lies and also being risky. Okay. So family, with that being said, that's my training for everybody today. I'm here for you every step of the way, and I'm excited for what is to come. I'm seeing so many greatness. JoJo's at 499 sales. Guess what that took? She's about to hit her 500 sale today. In literally a matter of less than 90 days, right? That took serenity. Being able to go through all of this adversity and keep going is all that life is throwing. And it also took taking risks, right? Think about it. The power duo. She had never taken the time to go out and make drawings and go out and sell them, right? That was a risk that when you guys took that, allowed a whole nother level to be broken through. So I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited to see what is to come. And I'm grateful to be a witness along the journey of all of your success, because I know we've only just scratched the surface. So Dream Team, go out and be great. If nobody told you yet today, I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. And I'm so excited for what is to come. Remember, we can do and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hands. Let's go. Dream Team. Manifestations are coming in June. New levels. Let's go.